Shalom, shalom, and good morning, good morning. This quick lesson I'm bringing to you is going to be called, Let This Beast Go. Let this beast go. And we're just going to dive into a couple scriptures real quick to kind of get our minds geared in the right direction. Let this beast go. First scripture we're going to go to is 2 Corinthians chapter 6. And we're going to start at verse 14. 2 Corinthians chapter 6, starting at verse 14. Let this beast go. And it reads, do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? And what communion has light with darkness? And what accord has Yahusha with Belial? Or what part has a believer with an unbeliever? And what agreement has the temple of the Most High with idols? For you are the temple of the living Elohim. As the Most High has said, I will dwell in them and walk among them. I will be their Elohim, and they shall be my people. Therefore, come out from among them and be separate, says the Most High. Do not touch what is unclean, and I will receive you. And I will be a father to you, and you shall be my sons and daughters, says the Almighty. And I want to key in right here on verse 17. Therefore, come out from among them and be separate. Do not touch what is unclean, and I will receive you. Let this beast go. When I'm talking about this beast, I'm talking about this system instituted by Satan himself. This kingdom has been given over to the wicked one, right? If we look at how it's set up, right? From the idol worship, to the materialism, to the violence, to the sexual perversion, to the miseducations, right? To the paganism, to the lawlessness, all right? Matter of fact, we go back to verse 14. It says, do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. So it's one thing to try to reach someone that the Father's directing you to bring them into the fold, right? They never heard the truth. They don't know who the Messiah is. They don't know the Father, right? So you go and share with them and you demonstrate through your life, right? It's one thing to share and try to teach and preach and reach. It's another thing to dwell and to fellowship, right? We aren't called to fellowship with non-believers, all right? When I say non-believers, I'm talking about those that do not follow the Messiah, Yahushua HaMashiach, who the world calls Christ, who do not keep the law, statutes, and commandments, right? It says, verse 14, do not be unequally yoked together with unbelievers. For what fellowship has righteousness with lawlessness? Lawlessness means without law, right? Without commandments, without obedience to the Most High. All right. Let this beast go. The next scripture we're going to go to, Revelation. Revelation. We're going to go to chapter 18. Revelation 18. Starting at verse 1. Revelation 18 verse 1 says, after these things, I saw another angel coming down from heaven, having great authority. And the earth was illuminated with his glory. And he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and has become a dwelling place of demons, a prison for every foul spirit, and a cage for every unclean and hated bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. And the merchants of the earth have become rich through the abundance of her luxury. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins, and lest you receive of her plagues. For her sins have reached to heaven, and the Most High has remembered her iniquities. And we're going to key on verse 2. And he cried mightily with a loud voice, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen. All right, so there was 3 Babylons. You had the original Babylon with with Nimrod, right, where they built the Tower of Babel. The second Babylon, which is around, I believe it's around the location of Iraq right now, which was ran by Nebuchadnezzar. This during the time of Daniel, during the prophet of Jeremiah. Then the scriptures talk about this mystery Babylon, and it gives qualifications as you go through the scriptures. And as you line up the description and you line up these different places, nothing fits like America. Nothing fits like this country. This country itself is Babylon the Great. And the Most High said, Babylon the Great is fallen, has become a dwelling place of demons. Right now, we have this culture where our youngins is calling themselves demons, saying I'm on demon time, right? It's almost like these fallen angels, these fallen demonic spirits know that their time is short. So they're like going all out. All right. They're inhabiting these youngins and some of the older folks, and they having their way. Right. They seen these people were empty houses, and they pulled up and they dwelling in them, to the point so much that the youngins is calling themselves demons. I'm on demon time. Right. Has become a dwelling place of demons. Right. One of the biggest money makers in this country is pornography. Right. The dwelling place of demons. We love violence in this country. We glorify wickedness in this country. Think about this, right? We hate when our family members get murdered. Our friends get murdered. It saddens us. But we'll leave a funeral and put on music that glorifies murder. Then the hypocrisy, and I'm talking to you Israelites, the hypocrisy amongst us in this Babylon, where when we are victimized by the police or of another nation, which is tragic, it is tragic, and it shouldn't happen. We feel some type way and we want justice. But when we do it to each other, the first thing we say is no snitching, right? No, I ain't ratting. So we'll watch one of our people in our neighborhoods get victimized. That was not in the streets. Because that no snitching stuff was for those that are committing crime together. But if I'm a civilian, or if my neighbor's a civilian, right, not involved in no illegal activity, and you see her get robbed at gunpoint, and you're not supposed to say nothing? This place has become a dwelling place of demons, a prison for every foul spirit. Every foul spirit. Look at how we talk to one another. Look at how our women view us. There's such a disrespect of manhood. There's a disrespect of femininity. So much so that in this wicked beast system, they're now questioning what a woman is. Like what? When? Babylon the Great is fallen. Look around. Look at the debt we're in. We got a military that can't keep up with recruits. We had one president who, he didn't know where he was at half the time. We got another presidential candidate that's like 80 years old. You got a vice president where she don't know where she at. She don't know what's going on. Look at this. We're on the verge of civil war. We're on the verge of war with all these other nations. We're fighting a Cold War, asymmetrical war. Right? They're fighting warfare with us through our food, our water supply. Babylon the Great is fallen. It is fallen. Don't fall in love with this beast. It's time to let go of this beast because it's fallen. It is a dwelling place of demons and a prison for every foul spirit, a cage for every unclean and hated bird. And all the nations drunk of the wine of her wrath, of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. How is that possible? Because she a whore. Simple. And they all slept with it. All these nations have come to love the beast for now. But they see it falling. And what's going to happen, these other nations are going to go back to their countries, right? According to scripture. And they're watching it fall. They're going to pull back their resources, pull back their economics, right? Like you're seeing with the BRICS, right? That's Brazil, Russia, India, China, South Africa, right? And some other nations are joining hands. Okay? Babylon the Great is fallen. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of her fornication. The kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. The merchants of the earth have become rich through the abundance of her luxury. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, lest you share in her sins, lest you receive of her plague. The Father's saying, come out. Let this beast go. What they told you, what you were supposed to value and what was important, let that go. Seek the treasures that are above, right? So where your treasure is, there your heart will be also, right? Our mindset need to be geared toward the kingdom to come, not on this thing. Look at this thing, right? The homelessness is everywhere. Okay, the poverty level is crazy. People getting evicted all over the place. Yet, we still got the Super Bowl, we got the NFL, we got shows, we got hookah lounges, we got bars. We're facing a famine. And yet we're partying because this land is the land of distractions, like the land of Oz. And they playing right in front of us. Okay? Let this beast system go. We're going to go to the book of John. We're going to go to John. Chapter 17. John 17, verse 9. And the Messiah said, I pray for them. I do not pray for the world, but for those whom you have given me, for they are yours. Look what he says. I pray for them. I do not pray for the world. Let this beast go. The Messiah is saying, I pray for those that the Father's given me. I don't pray for this beast. This beast going to perish. When the Messiah come back, he's going to destroy this beast. Right? So, let this system go. Stop trusting in this government. Stop trusting in what they taught us was important. This land has become a land of vanity. Look what people do for likes. That's what it's about now. We are addicted to attention in this society, and it's time to let it go. Romans 12:2 says, 1 and 2 says, do not conform to this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Right? Present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable to the Most High, which is your reasonable service. Do not conform to this world. Don't be like this world. It's time to divorce this beast. And the divorce starts in the mind. I hope you learned something. This was a little food for thought. Shalom.